Disclaimer, this video will be 100% spoiler free and will not go into detail and talk in depth or even show any of the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom art book spoilers. And I will not show or talk about these leaks in detail prior to the game releasing on May 12th, 2023. So stick around and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nish Quick here, and today I want to talk about video game hype and leak culture and how they can kind of go hand in hand. And I want to present this argument or present my thoughts, because I have a lot of thoughts in my mind. I just want to kind of dump them out. But I want to talk about this with respect to two games. If you've been keeping up with the channel lately, you might know which two games I'm talking about. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom is one, but there's another game which I'll be talking about in terms of leaks and hype and all that. Anyways, let's get down to it. But remember, if you enjoy content like this, video game analysis, reviews, casual discussions like this, or anything related to Nintendo, RPGs, games in general, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's really helping out the channel, and I really appreciate everyone's support. So let's get to talking about all this stuff. So yesterday, out of nowhere, the Tears of the Kingdom art book leaked. And I'm not going to be talking about that, but I will say this. I would be honestly lying if I said that looking at those images and those leaked images did not increase my hype for the game, because I was already hyped. This has been my most hyped game for the better part of 4 years since this game was announced back in 2019. But I have to honestly say, there have been times my hype has dwindled, my hype has declined, it's plateaued. This new trailer picked it up a bit, but these art book leaks were what really set it over the edge, because I was wanting to know what is different, what is the big change, what is the massive departure that this game is going to take from Breath of the Wild. After seeing these art book leaks, I can safely say that this game is not going to feel like Breath of the Wild, so that is one thing that has eased my worries, but it's also gotten me so excited. And I want to talk about this pre-release hype for Tears of the Kingdom. The game was announced in E3 2019, so June of 2019, right? We didn't hear anything for 2 years. Then we got the E3 2021 trailer, exactly 2 years later, June of 2021. Both trailers were very vague. The first trailer was just exploring the underground. You see Ganondorf, the castle, something's happening to the castle. That's what you can take away. The second trailer, you see similar things, and then you see sky exploration. You see Link falling down from the sky, exploring the sky islands. That's it. Then the castle rises up. That's it. The third trailer was the shortest and the most vague trailer we've ever gotten. We see cave paintings. We see mysterious characters on these cave paintings. And then we see Link fall, do a skydive, use his arm ability, and then jump on this gliding thing, and then we see the title and the release date. That is the biggest takeaway from this trailer, the third trailer. The fourth trailer shows a lot. It shows potential weapon crafting, potential vehicle crafting. We hear dialogue from what we think is Ganondorf and other characters. We see more of the underground and more of the sky islands. But still, we don't know a lot of major details on this game. They're keeping it close to the chest. That's the point I'm trying to make here. They're keeping it close to the chest with this game. They're being very careful of what they reveal and what they show. And this reminds me of another game I can immediately think of. And that is, you guys guessed it, it's God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok was announced in, correct me if I'm wrong, September 2020, with that whole big PS5 showcase. At the end, they're like, Ragnarok is coming, and everyone's like, oh, it's God of War, and they didn't even reveal the name for God of War Ragnarok then. They just said Ragnarok is coming, and everyone assumed it would be called God of War Ragnarok. But officially, it was still untitled God of War sequel, kind of like untitled sequel to Breath of the Wild. Then we didn't hear anything till a year later. We didn't have to wait much longer, but a year later, we saw a trailer, but it wasn't a whole bunch. We just saw snowy areas, new characters, new ways to travel. Nothing massive, but it picked up the hype because we could like theorize about the story and all that. And then, this is the weird thing. We saw that trailer in September 2021, right? We did not get anything for a very long time. And that's when me and my friends who play PlayStation games, I was a little worried. I was like, okay, for this untitled Breath of the Wild sequel, we got the Sky Islands and maybe this underground. But for God of War Ragnarok, we haven't seen anything like substantially new. So like, I told my friends this. I was like, honestly, if this game is just like the same kind of God of War experience with a new story, I'm not gonna be happy with it. And I want to see more. I want to be more hyped for this game. I want them to blow the doors open. And when they did, the big thing that they revealed was the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition or Jotnar Edition while revealing the release date. And I was like, alright, I guess this game isn't gonna be as big as everyone says, whatever. And then they show this big like story trailer, and it's a great trailer, really awesome trailer, new characters, new locations, everything. That got me a little more hyped, but I was still like, this still might not be a day one purchase for me. I'm kind of uncertain about that. And then the reviews came out, and everyone was like, yeah, we can't talk about this game much because of the embargo and like what we're not allowed to talk about, but this is a step, and this is a major step forward for the series and for what God of War is and all that, and we got a lot of good stuff from that. And then I went into the game and I figured out what they were talking about. It kind of hit me. I realized why they were keeping this game so close to their chest. I realized why they weren't talking about it much, and I realized why they didn't want things to leak. That's the thing, that's the big thing, they didn't want things to leak. And I think God of War Ragnarok did have some leaks, but I don't know to what extent those leaks were and what those leaks were, but my point is, you got to play as Atreus. Not only as Kratos, you got to play as Atreus, and that was fun. You got to explore all 9 realms. Areas you had already explored were different, and you got a whole new weapon for Kratos. You got the Draupnir spear. Odin was nothing like we had thought he was gonna be presented as. Asgard was nothing like we thought it was gonna be portrayed as. A lot of these twists and surprises in the gameplay, the lore, and the story, it was so much fun to experience fresh, with no spoilers, I would say, and no like abundance of marketing. And that's why I want to compare this with Tears of the Kingdom again, because you might see it like up here or down here or whatever. I did a comparison of God of War Ragnarok and Tears of the Kingdom in the sense that like God of War Ragnarok was a successful video game sequel which developed upon the previously established conventions of God of War 2018, which was a game that broke the boundaries and was like a modern soft reboot for the God of War franchise. And the same thing is happening with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. And when I made that video like before, a lot of people, I don't think they kind of understood what I was trying to say, because a lot of people were like, oh, what can Tears of the Kingdom learn from God of War? Well, Zelda doesn't need to learn anything from God of War because they're two very different kind of series. And some people went to the extent to even say that, oh, Zelda doesn't need to learn anything from God of War because Zelda's a better series. And I'm like, as much as I agree with you, that's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make was God of War 2018 was a groundbreaking departure from the series conventions. Breath of the Wild was a groundbreaking departure from the series conventions. And God of War Ragnarok was a sequel to that groundbreaking game. And Tears of the Kingdom is also a sequel to a very successful, groundbreaking game and these two are the God of War 2018, Breath of the Wild, they're the two most successful games in their respective franchises. And Ragnarok did the unthinkable, make a sequel to an already perfect game, and it made it better. Tears of the Kingdom is doing the absolute unthinkable. It is making a sequel to a game that has established conventions for open world games following it. Like, wow. That's my thing. that's one reason why I think that the marketing cycles for these games are very limited. For God of War Ragnarok, they don't need to sell you the over-the-shoulder gameplay. They don't need to sell you on the slower, more visceral combat. They don't need to sell you on the companions that you'll have. But what they will sell you on when you play the game is playing as Atreus, having new weapons, going to new areas, but they don't want to spoil that. And I got it. I just got it when I played God of War Ragnarok. I was like, if they revealed all this stuff prior to release, it wouldn't be as fun. And similarly with Tears of the Kingdom, because after that direct trailer we got for the February direct, I was like, I don't think I want to know more. And like, I would have been okay with waiting till like the game's release to find out more about this game. But you might be saying, oh, Nishquick, you said you're excited for the game, more excited for the game because of the leaks. The thing about the leaks is, it's sad that it's happened. I feel very sorry for Aonuma and Nintendo and everyone who's kind of scrambling to get this under control. But the thing is, I do understand where a lot of people are coming from, where a lot of people needed to be sold on this game. It is a Switch game, it needs to be, like, kind of sold more. Because a lot of people have that idea. It is a DLC expansion. It has nothing new coming in, and all that, like, negativity. And I think these leaks have kind of made people realize that this is not just, like, Breath of the Wild 2. It is a new Zelda experience. But on top of that, I will say that these leaks give us hints of what is to come in this game, but they don't tell us everything. Because there are things from the trailers that are not in this art book, and there are things that I'm 100% certain that are going to be in this game that are not in the art book. So there's going to be a lot of surprises in Tears of the Kingdom. And I just wanted to say that, like, these leaks are very unfortunate, but it is a very, like, gray area. It is a very gray area. Like, do you feel excited for these? Do you feel disappointed with these? It is entirely up to you, but, like, the thing is, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say that, oh, we have more information on this game, and I am much more excited for it. Similarly to me playing God of War Ragnarok and understanding why the marketing was very limited, I now understand that with Tears of the Kingdom. I now understand why they didn't want to give so much away, but I also look at it in the sense that it was wrong for this to be leaked. It wasn't right in, like, a legal standpoint and just the respect to the development team and all that. But I would be lying if I said that this art book leak showed so much more than these trailers have shown. But the thing is, it's such a weird kind of concept because I get it. I get why they're being so minimal with this marketing stuff. And I've seen people online say this was a bad marketing cycle, this is bad PR and all that. Would you have said the same to Sony? Because a lot of people I know who have played God of War Ragnarok are also saying, why aren't they showing much about Tears of the Kingdom? They need to show more. And I asked them, like, did you feel the same about God of War Ragnarok? And when you played it, did you feel like you needed to know more prior to the game coming out? Did you need to know about the Draupnir Spear? Did you need to know about Atreus being playable? Did you need to know about, like, Vanaheim and Svartalfheim and Asgard and all these places that weren't explorable in the first game? Did you need to know all that? Nintendo's whole, like, idea with this was for Tears of the Kingdom to be very minimally marketed and come out and just surprise everyone, because the reason Nintendo's playing it so close to their chest shouldn't be shown as a sign of reluctance and fear. It's a sign of confidence that they know this is a Legend of Zelda game. Legend of Zelda games that do not, that score high in the 90s, that are respected and loved and are groundbreaking for the video game industry. So why would they be scared about this? This is not this limited marketing cycle, as confusing and strange and weird as it is, I don't think it's a sign of fear, it's a sign of confidence. Same with Sony and Santa Monica marketing God of War Ragnarok. I hope some of this, if not any of it, like made sense. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say with this. If not, like, let's discuss in the comments. And I am begging you guys, no spoilers in the comments. No, none of them. Do not talk about any specific leaks in the comments below. Because this is also, I realize, this is probably the biggest leak the Zelda series has had. Zelda doesn't have leaks. It has very few leaks, but it doesn't have leaks of this magnitude. Let's be respectful, nice, and civil about this. And yeah, no spoilers. And if you guys are still watching, give it a like, subscribe if you enjoy content like this, check out my other videos on Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and just gaming in general. This is Nishquick signing off. Have a great day and play some great games today. I'll see you in the next one.